we're so confident that if you do qualify in, we can do everything. We can hit sales targets, increase profits, do all that good stuff as well. Do you know what is the best way to be able to get to 30, 40, even $50,000 a month, and then be able to get to $100 to $250,000 a month? Because this is the plan that I break this down into, which is it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap to be able to go from zero to $10,000 a month to $10,000 a week to $10,000 a day. And what I want to walk you through right now is these 6 playbooks. These are 6 playbooks that when working together, be able to bring in leads, high quality leads, the people that you love to be able to work with, and to be able to turn them into high value clients. Now, the system doesn't require you having to post more content and trying to be like Hormozy. It doesn't require you having to have large budgets. It doesn't require you to be able to join another business coach or try and follow some regurgitated wrong information. Because if you've been trying to do things like VSL funnels, lead magnets, webinars, challenges, book funnels, and you've been working hard trying to follow all of these other tactics and they haven't been working for you, it's not your fault. It's just those things that you're trying to do aren't actually working. They're not working the way that you're trying to apply it, the way that you're trying to copy what these other people are regurgitating out there as well. So the way that I want you to think about this system, which we call the RMAS method, and I'll walk you through in just a moment, because I'm going to walk you through each of these playbooks and we're going to go through a process so you can actually walk away from this session together to be able to know what's missing and to be able to know what is it that you need to be able to best work on as well. But kind of the concept that I got was the way that these 6 playbooks work is, if you remember, and I think everyone has watched the Avengers movies. So if you think of Thanos, right? Thanos in the Avengers movies. Now, if you replace Thanos with you, because Thanos is some dude that wants to take over the universe, but we replace Thanos with you, which is an amazing coach that wants to impact people doing the work that you love. Now, where Thanos needs 6 Infinity Stones to be able to conquer the universe, you just need 6 playbooks to be able to make it rain leads and turn them into clients. Now, the thing is, and this is really important, it's not about just having like one system and trying to be able to have that do all of the heavy lifting, because it's not a 1 + 1 + 1 equals this linear calculation for you to get to where you want to go to, which is why we go from 0 to 10K a month to 10K a week to 10K a day. And you do this because we get a hockey stick effect, because it's about actually having the 6 of them working together to be able to get you the results, to be able to get you the actual process that brings in clients, brings in leads and turns them into clients. But really, what I just figured out, it actually gets you to be able to have more peace. Because I don't know about you, but I want to be able to have more peace. I have 4 daughters. I have an amazing marriage. I have friends I want to hang out with. I want to take care of my health. There's stuff outside of business as well. So if you want to be able to enjoy your business and actually wake up every single day to be able to go, yeah, I'm looking forward to going into my business today because I know shit is actually working, and you're in your zone of genius, you're not fretting over where are leads and you're trying to chase after clients and you're stressed about money. Take all of that stuff away and you actually know that you wake up because leads are coming in, they're turning into clients, you're in your zone of genius, and then you can start to enjoy life as well. So before we go into it, I want to show you a quick couple of things because it might sound too good to be true, and I don't blame you, to be perfectly honest. So I believe the proof is in the pudding. Now, let's start with the exact same system, the exact playbook. So I'm going to walk you through right now. Works for one coach that within 7 days of actually starting to use this system, did an extra $100,000 cash collection and increase $35,000 of monthly recurring revenue. Another coach was able to do $566,600 in sales in less than 30 days using the exact same system. Another coach was able to do $177,000 in 1 month. And this was from the very beginning. This was their first offer that we actually put out, and it was just selling through the DMs with no ads as well. Now, to get super geeky and technical, I'll actually zoom in for this one. So show up calls. One of the biggest problems that so many coaches are having right now is ad expenses are going through the roof. Show up rates have plummeted. Their conversion rates have actually gone down as well. Then the actual cost per acquisition is going up, right? So all of these numbers are going in the reverse direction. So we actually showed here with one partner, their triage rates, you see here is like 66 and 53% their show up rates. We got them up to 91% their show up rates by using the exact system as well. So what I want you to see is this works for coaches that are doing good numbers. Do you mean 100, 250 plus, up to $1 million a month, but also working for coaches that are just starting as well, because where one coach was able to do $52,000 of sales in just over a week, just from getting started with us as well, to another coach saying that this is the best thing that they've ever invested in when it comes to actual coaching and the way that this system was set up as well. So the proof is in the pudding. So I want you to kind of like suspend your disbelief and be like, oh, I'm not too sure, Chris, if this works. God damn, it works. It works if you work it. So this is why I want to actually take you through this process right now. So let's do this together. And the first thing I want us to be able to go through is just understand everything in all. Okay, so we call this the RMAS method. There are 6 key playbooks that need to work together. Now, if you look at the outside of the diagram that I have for you, the idea is that we put $1 into the system. $1 in, then we put it into the system. The system does its thing. It gets you a lead. It turns it into a client. And then at the end of the system, you have more dollars, right? So we actually end up with more dollars. We end with profit. You take a portion of those profits, you stick that in your back pocket and you go, that's for me. I can spend that on whatever the hell that I want to spend it on, because you're earning good money, you're earning good profits. You take a small portion of that profit and you put it back into the system, which is going to get us more profits, more clients. And then we just rinse and repeat that process. We just do that transaction as many times as we can, as fast as we can. This is how we scale coaching businesses so quickly. It's looking at it from an investor point of view and being able to have a very engineered set of steps for this to work. This is why this works in so many different niches and for so many different coaches having different models of what they do and how they actually do it as well. So let's go through these 6 systems as well, because as we go through this process, I want you to go in your head, okay, do I have this process in place? Is it actually working? What do I need to work on next? I truly believe, and this is what we do with all of our partners and everyone that we work with, we use the law of constraint, which is there's going to be one key constraint that is slowing or stopping and killing and murdering your progress and being able to not get you to where it is that you want to go. All we do, and this is what we're really good at, is actually finding, diagnosing what that key constraint is, installing a playbook, fixing it, and then we just move on to the next one and we rinse and repeat that process. So let's go through system numero uno, which is going to be the ad matrix. Here we go, ad matrix. So the idea here is we've all probably heard the terms top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. What I want you to be able to do is just for the moment right now, we're just going to focus on the top of the funnel stuff right now, because what I want you to realize is once we have a process in place that gets people to go from not knowing you. So this is stone cold traffic. They do not know you, okay? If we can set up our campaigns to ensure that we get people that don't know you to quickly knowing you and being able to build a know, like, and trust, and then getting into your sales process to then signing them on as a client, we have a engineered system that is going to give you really good sleep, because that's what I'm giving you at the end of the day, really good sleep, but I'll explain that in just a second. So we do that through 3 campaigns at top of funnel. We have awareness campaigns. It is through really great quality content. Typically, most of our partners will use either their podcast or their YouTube, be some piece of content that is really going to be highlighting your markets, your prospects, your potential clients' problems, and showing them how you solve their problems so that they go, oh my God, this guy, this dude, this dudette is amazing. And they're solving the exact problem that I have, and it's the easiest, cheapest, fastest way possible. And they like you as well. And so then they can take the next steps. The next 2 you'll see in the dark squares is going to be direct to offer. So what we call direct to offer is we want to get them into the next thing that is going to be able to get their name, email, phone number, and to be able to quickly what we call a DTO Prezzo, which I'll show you in just a second. So we use two different campaigns to be able to do that so that we can get the messaging in front of the right people. Now, the idea is, especially when running ads and especially in a marketplace type situation, such as ads that are going to be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and so forth, is we want to be able to get the targeting right really quickly. This is what saves you a ton of cash and a ton of time. And it's what gets you the cheapest but highest quality leads. So this is why we split these out to two. Then we refine the process and use the data to get much more lasered in targeting as we go through the process. So the first system is a cold to sold ad matrix, making sure at the very least that we can put content ads in front of cold traffic and to be able to drive them into what is going to be our process I'm walking you through right now. Now, the next is the $1 million microwave. The concept you need to understand here is people are going to opt into your stuff. They're going to come into your ecosystem in one way, shape, or form. What we need is we need to be able to warm them up. Remember, we just created campaigns that go to cold traffic, right? So yes, in an ideal scenario, someone sees your ad, sees you for the very first time, then they click the link, then they go to the next step, then they go into your sales process, and they're going to be buying your stuff within, do you know what I mean, an hour to 72 hours. Now, that would be fantastic, but that's not going to happen with everybody, which is why we need a solid, absolute solid nurturing process. But we need to warm these leads up. So this is the system that we use to be able to warm leads up. Now, I'm showing you just the first 7 days. With partners, we actually have a 21-day process built out, but I don't want to make it too complicated and complex. I wanted to be able to show you and go, all right, these are how many touch points that we create in just the first 7 days. So if you're saying, yo, Chris, that looks like a lot of touch points that I'm having with the lead coming through. Yeah, but guess what? You have the solution to the problem that they have just figuratively raised their hand and go, yo, I do want some help with this. I am interested in this, and which is why we're taking them through that. So you've got to ask yourself right now, do I have a nurturing process? Do I have a system that can warm leads up really quickly to get them into your sales process? Because if you don't, what typically happens, the symptoms, is you just have leads falling away. You have people initially seeing your stuff, opting into your stuff, but they don't actually buy, or you get put into the friend zone. Well, they'll continue to watch their stuff. They might even like your content. They might even comment and engage with it, but they're not buying. They're not going into that sales process. So we want to avoid getting into the friend zone as well. So that's systems 1 and 2 that we've covered. System 3 is the DTO Prezzo. Now, this is literally the way that we form a direct to offer presentation. This is the most effective, the most efficient way to be able to get someone to go, oh my God, I have this problem. You're solving that problem in the way that I want that solved. And it's far superior compared to all of the other options that I have, i.e. your competitors. And you're going to be able to sell them. So we literally take them through. I'm giving you this. This is how we build out these presentations, whether it's in-person, whether it's online, whether it's a video or whatever, which is a case of when you start, you get them excited about what it is they're about to watch and you show what's in it for them. Then you prove your expertise and authority. Then you go through what are their problems, what are the mistakes, what's their possible agitations, what are the opportunities that they have. Then you go into your solutions and how you uniquely actually solve their problems. Then you bridge to get permission to pitch them into the next step. Now, this doesn't have to be pitching them to sell and for them to buy a product right now. It could be pitching them into, hey, now book in a call with me. Now do X, whatever the next step is that they have to take. Remember, we're not trying to sell the entire thing straight away. You could, and we do with some partners, but typically it's only just selling the next step. So which is the bridge to get permission to pitch. Then we go through the irresistible offer stack. Then you finish up with last minute objections and then pushing them off the fence to make sure that they actually take action. So again, ask yourself, I want to know. You can answer me and go, Chris, yes, I do have, do you know what I mean, one really dialed in, refined DTO Prezzo, or no, you know what, I don't, Chris, I need to be able to actually create something like this because that's something that's missing in my system right now. So we've gone through the ad matrix, we've done the microwave, we've done the DTO Prezzo. Now is about the outbound amplifier, which is up here. So again, this back-end amplifier is what a lot of coaches think might get a little bit scary. Okay, so when I go through this and explain this, don't freak the hell out, because this is one of those things. Think of this as like, this is one of those infinity stones in Thanos's glove or whatever the thing's called that really amplifies. And we really see that once this system comes in with the rest of them, cost per leads go down, conversions go through the roof, and our ability to scale acquisition is just far superior. The idea of this is really coming down to people need a personal touch. They need to have their skepticism. They need to have their objections. They need to have their questions solved and answered as into what's stopping them from taking the next steps. So let's just say, like, this is one example. Let's say you're running a lead magnet of some sort. Now, if you run a lead magnet, they're going to like opt into it. How many people are actually going to watch the thing on the next page? How many people are going to open up their email and click through to whatever it is you're sending them? Not many, right? But however, what happens if you opted in and you get a phone call in 10 minutes and someone's like, hey, let's say your name's Miranda. Hey, Miranda, I just saw that you opted in for XYZ lead magnet. Just want to make sure that you actually got access to it. Did you have time to go through it? No, you haven't yet. Okay, cool. That's all good. I tell you what, is there any other problems that you're having with, let's say you're a fitness coach? Is there any other problems you're having when it comes to your health and fitness goals? Okay, great. Well, I tell you what, let's say the head honcho's name's Jeff. You go, oh, Jeff has a ton of free trainings. I'd love to send you one that's going to be specific to you. So it's not to waste your time, but help you the most. Then they're able to send them the right training. Now you can see where I'm coming from. It's a customer service point of view first to ensure that we're best helping and nurturing that prospect. Then we can segue into taking them into a pitch to take them into the sales process. Again, we build this out so there are multiple touch points to ensure that this is actually going to work. So this is what we call the back-end amplifier. Now, there is just two more systems we want to go through: the coach's application funnel and then the 4P closing process. So the application funnel is all of these set of steps that we want to be able to have. Now, CTA content, I'll just zoom in, is call to action content. So no matter where you are, if you're posting on Instagram or LinkedIn or in emails, there's some, wherever it is, even if you bump into someone on the side of the road, the question is, you need to give them a call to action to take the next step. So wherever it is, you're giving that call to action. It could be an ad, could be wherever. Then you want them to apply or go to a wait list or something for them to be able to then go, yes, I'm really interested and I want to have a conversation about you helping me solve this problem. Next page is going to be a choose time page. So they choose a time to be able to have that conversation. Now, really importantly on the thank you, this is where if you've got a team member doing the conversations for you, typically we have that team member on because you need to do an authority handover. You need to be able to get the person that's actually going to have the conversation with the prospect to actually start building some rapport. Otherwise, what happens is your prospects are seeing you and your content, reading your stuff, and then suddenly they're like talking to someone else and there's this jarring disconnect of like, hang on, I don't know you. I've been listening to Chris the whole time. I want to talk to Chris. We don't want that to happen. So we do an authority handover and we do it in two stages. We're using the thank you and the pre-triage. Have you subscribed? If not, this is the best time for you to subscribe, whether you're on the YouTube or on the podcast. Why? Because it would be a bummer if you missed out on everything that's to come, or don't subscribe if you're not actually getting much value out of this, because there is a zillion other things that you could be doing. So I'd rather you go and do that. The ball's in your court. Then they have the initial conversation that we call a triage call. Then between triage call and strategy call, where you close a client, we use a pre-strat. The pre-strat is really important. This is to make sure that you pre-solve their objections and you get them going into that strategy call, really looking forward to they actually show up for the call, but really ready to buy. So there's very little like selling that's really needed to be done when this is done really properly, because then it goes into the 4P closing process, the last system of this. So what happens is if you're doing the calls or someone else is doing the calls, even if it's just like through DMs, whatever the actual conversation is, you need to be able to prepare properly. You need the other person, the prospect, to prepare, and you or your team member, the person having the sales conversation, to prepare. You need to have your presentation down correctly. So how are you actually presenting and articulating what needs to be communicated across for that message to actually be well received and to answer all of the problems or questions that need to be able to be answered for your prospect to very happily go, yes, here's my credit card. Please charge me. Let's get rocking and rolling. And then there's persuasion, which is, are you able to talk, communicate, articulate in the way that is going to solve all of the roadblocks in your prospect's mind so that they can happily say yes? Because when you have preparation, presentation, and persuasion together, that is when you profit. And that's when you profit big time as well. So the idea is, what you just need to think about right now is, think of a traffic light system. So green light, orange light, red light. Okay. Green light is this system is installed. It's working. I'm super happy with the results it's producing. Orange light is, I've got this system there, Chris, but it's not doing its best. I know that I need to optimize it and really get it fixed. Red light is, I don't have this system at all, or it's not doing a very good job at all, Chris. Okay. So with your ad matrix, are you green, orange, or red? With your $1 million microwave, are you green, orange, or red? With your DTO Prezzo, are you green, orange, or red? With your back-end amplifier, are you green, orange, or red? With your coach's application funnel, are you green, orange, or red? Guess what I'm going to say next. And with your 4P closing process, are you green, orange, or red? Your idea right now is, you just need to think about, before like getting off this session and before the next steps you're going to do, is you're going to go, okay, I know I've got maybe a couple green, I've got these oranges, I need these reds. Now you need to ensure that you know what it is you need to best work on. What is going to be that key constraint? I can't answer that for you right now. It's impossible for me to do in this, with me just shooting this video that you're watching God knows when. Is case of, what is that key constraint? What is going to be the most important system that you need to install or fix and optimize next, that is then going to make everything else easier and amplify the results as it is to what you are actually doing? That is going to be one of the key things that you want to be able to work on. So as we wrap up this session together, which I hope you've gotten a ton of value out of, I want you to be able to be clear on what it is those next steps are. Now, obviously, if you want us to be able to actually have a conversation with us, then you're just going to have to either click a button somewhere around here, register your interest, because we're only going to be having the conversations with coaches that qualify in. Because if you do qualify in, we actually guarantee results, because we're so bloody confident that that's going to work. So I don't want it to sound too cocky, me saying that, but we guarantee results with coaches that qualify in, because we're so confident that if you do qualify in, we can do everything. We can hit sales targets, increase profits, do all that good stuff as well. But for you, it's a case of, do you know the exact key constraint for you to be able to solve right now? Do you know how to then install that playbook and that system to be able to get everything rocking and rolling? Those are the two biggest questions for you as a coach to be answering right now. Don't go off doing something else. Don't go off watching another piece of content. Don't go off and just like forget about it, because if you're serious about building a business, increasing profits, and really just making a business that, what I said before, gives you peace of mind and gives you good quality sleep, because you will sleep really well when you have a business that is operating like clockwork, brings in leads, signs on its clients, be able to deliver great coaching results, and then be able to have that rinse and repeat process with you just in your zone of genius. That's amazing. And that's what I want for you. So put all that together and make sure, if you have any other questions as well, either comment below, send me a DM, put a note in a carrier pigeon, something along those lines. But if anything, use this information and actually put it to the test for yourself, because there is no need for you to go off running after other things that could be bright or shiny, or just doing the same old. Because if you're doing the same old, you're going to get the same old results, and that's not fun. So use the stuff that actually works. If you've enjoyed this episode and it's vibed with you, then make sure that you hit subscribe, whether you're on the YouTube or on the podcast. And importantly, if there is any guests that you want me to have on the show, or specific questions or topics that you want me to be able to cover for you, simply put it into the YouTube comments or send me an Instagram DM. That way I can make sure you're getting the most out of actually being here.